most underrated men's fragrances in my collection. Stay tuned. So guys, if you love fragrance, perfume, cologne related content, slap that subscribe button, like the video at the end, give it that thumbs up. It does help the YouTube algorithm. But today we're going to talk about quite a few fragrances that don't get the love it deserves, in my opinion, and 10 out of 10s. So, starting off with the first one. Now, this is from the house of Atrium. So Atrium is a little indie niche house that was started by a YouTuber, and he comes out with hits every once in a while, fantastic fragrances. Now this one, he launched as his fresh aquatic fragrance, and then it disappeared for quite a few months. And now he's brought it back. I'm guessing, from what I've been reading, it's been reformulated, but I have the OG formula. And that fragrance is Atrium's Mr. Maritime. Yes, Mr. Maritime by Atrium. Now, this is a mango fragrance. Mango, tropical, fruity, sweet, features a unique note of rhubarb, which, when do you ever hear of rhubarb being in a fragrance? But this is a classy, elegant summertime fragrance for any guy in any situation. I wear this usually in the high heat. I mean, it's got a huge dent. But high heat, rainy days, this is an awesome scent. A 10 out of 10 in my collection, and one I rarely reach for nowadays because of the juice level. You guys all have a fragrance like that, but this is fantastic stuff. Again, if you're looking for an aquatic, fruity, sweet, citrus, woody style fragrance, I know it's back in stock at his website. I'll try and link it down below, but again, that's from Atrium Fragrances, and that's Mr. Maritime. Now, to be honest with you guys, I'm not a huge rose fan, but this fragrance changed my opinions on rose fragrances for men. Now, you could technically say Arabian's Tonka from Montal changed my mind, but that's more of a rose oud fragrance. This is a fantastic, very thought out, crafted fragrance from the house of Zaharoff. And if you haven't heard of Zaharoff, look them up. But this is Zaharoff Signature Rosé. Yes, Signature Rosé by Zaharoff. Now, this is going to feature a ton of different rose accords. It's going to have Turkish rose, I believe some Damascus rose, Bulgarian rose, just a sweet floral ambery style fragrance that's unique from any other rose fragrance on the market. Now with Mr. Maritime, I get 10 plus hours. With this, I get about 8 plus hours longevity. Now this one's perfectly unisex, but I know a lot of people out there, especially men, don't like rose. I would give this a sample, give this a try. Totally under the radar, and one of my favorite rose fragrances in the collection. And again, that's Zaharoff Signature Rosé. Now, this next one. There's a YouTuber called TLTG Fragrances. He turned me on to the house of Zaharoff. Fantastic creator. Me and him are very similar in many ways, but he also turned me on to this fragrance. And this is one of the best tropical fragrances, truly and honestly. It's kind of my way of putting it, and I don't know if he could speak the same about it. I kind of put it in the middle of Le Beau EDT and Le Beau Parfum. Kind of meeting them in the middle, but still excellent for the price point. Now, you can find this one usually about $30 or $40 at FragranceBuy. I'll have a link down below for that. Once in a while, it'll pop up on Jomashop. I'll also have a link. You guys don't have to use my links by any means. It's just there for reference. But this fragrance, underrated. And that's Mandarin Duck Vita Loca. Yes, Vita Loca Mandarin Duck. Now, what this is going to feature is some pineapple, some vanilla, some aromatics, tropical, sweet, fruity, fresh, just an alluring scent. It's going to have that creamy tonka bean, kind of like the Jean Paul Gaultier Le Beau Parfum lineup, a touch of vetiver. Like I said, I believe there's some aromatics in here, like maybe a sage or lavender. Fantastic release. And for 25, 30 bucks, must have, must own going into the spring, summer season. And again, that's Mandarin Duck Vita Loca. Now, this next one I've been featuring in quite a few videos because I blind bought this with the note of iris being listed. Now, I'm a huge iris fan. Now, in most note pyramids, I see that orris is listed. Orris, iris, it's all the same thing basically, but this is kind of a powdery green, yet buttery iris leather fragrance. So unique and different. Kind of smells like Valentino Uomo Intense, even though it's not that, or a one-to-one to that. But this is from the house of Azha, underrated Middle Eastern house. And that's Azha Vert for Him. Yes, Vert for Him. Magnetic cap, gets bonus points in my book. Again, powdery, leather, musky. Slightly animalic, but in a good way. I'm not a huge fan of those animalic fragrances, but let me tell you something. This is a gem. For $20, $25, amazing stuff. I'll put it down in the description below, but for iris lovers out there, you gotta get your nose on this, especially for this spring, summer. Totally under the radar, the whole line. I gotta do more videos on these fragrances, but again, that's Azha's Vert for Him. Now, this is more of an underrated fragrance. I think I'm gonna have to title this video Best Underrated Fragrances for Men because this was a new release, and to be honest, it's getting a lot of hate. Now, it kind of brings back that old school masculine DNA with like that violet leaf accord, and it's a long lasting fragrance. I get 10 plus hours with this fragrance. And I don't know what people were expecting. I mean, it smelled just as I expected, in my opinion. And the most underrated fragrance this year has to be the new Acqua di Gio Elixir. Yes, Acqua di Gio Elixir, a fantastic bergamot, orangey, kind of violet leaf citrus, ozonic fragrance, long-lasting beast mode. Just smells elegant, refined, kind of takes that original Acqua di Gio DNA, adds some oceanic notes, and makes it fresher. Exactly what I wanted from a flanker. Profondo didn't do it for me. Profondo, the original, is very salty on my skin. This fills that void and is so underrated going into 2025, especially for spring, summer. Honestly, sample if you can. Now, don't buy retail, guys. Buy from reputable discounters, but awesome stuff nonetheless. And again, underrated fragrance, Acqua di Gio Elixir. Now, this fragrance has a note of cappuccino. Yes, cappuccino. It's an older release. They got rid of it. They brought it back. And this is the Intensely formula of the OG. Now, I have the OG and this Intensely. Just go with the Intensely. It's the same scent profile to my nose, but longer lasting. And that's got to be Raucous Man Intensely. Yes. I don't know if you hold it like this or like this. But yeah, Lava Lamp or Let Your Mind Wander. But it's going to be a lavender aromatic, vanilla, soft, subtle cappuccino coffee vibe. Sexy, alluring, magnetic. You can dress this up, dress it down, wear it any season, and very under the radar. And, you know, I've been seeing this get some more hype on TikTok. I don't know if it was considered Drake's fragrance, but awesome stuff. So underrated for 20, 25 bucks. You can usually get a tester with cap around that price. Again, I'll try and have links in the bio, but underrated, yes. Underhyped, yes. Masterpiece, yes. And again, that's Raucous Man Intense. Now this next fragrance, I've turned a lot of people onto this fragrance, whether it was coworkers or on TikTok or Instagram, but this is fruity, bits of some booziness, some patchouli, vanilla, and it's perfectly unisex in my opinion, even though the name states man. And that's from Fragrance World, and that's Starman Nebula. Yeah, Starman Nebula. It's a fruity orange, bergamot, whiskey, vetiver, vanilla, ambery style fragrance. Very loud. I'm not even going to spray it. Very loud in the air. Projection sillage, massive. And I get 8+ hours longevity with this. Now, Raucous Man, I usually get around that 5.5, 6 hour mark. Bring the bottles with you. Bring decants with you. Who cares about longevity? But as long as it smells fantastic, it's all for me. But the added bonus, this is about $20, $25 on most discounters. And 8+ hours longevity, beast mode on skin, compliment factor high, and under the radar gem from the House of Fragrance World. But again, that's Fragrance World's Starman Nebula. Now, there's so many great flankers from this house. That's the problem with this house. A lot of them overshadow this one because this was kind of just a quick throwout release from last year, and it really didn't get the hype or talk it deserved. When I tried it on skin for the first time, fell in love with it. I'm a big fan of patchouli, and this has loads of it. But this is from Boss, and it's Boss Bottled Triumph Elixir. Yes, Boss Bottled Triumph Elixir. Now, now this is going to kind of have a violetly fresh, earthy vetiver, a little slightly leather and animalic vibe to it that's not going to be for everyone, but fantastic stuff. Totally under the radar because of the prior releases, and one that gets overlooked. Now, I picked mine up, I believe, from overseas when it dropped, because I was super excited about the notes. The 3-note pyramid thing, it's annoying, but it's super exciting because you don't know what the rest of the fragrance is going to hold. So no offense to anybody out there that hates the 3-note pyramid, but nonetheless, fantastic stuff, totally under the radar, and a must try, must own. And that's Boss Bottled Triumph Elixir. Now, to me, this fragrance gets overlooked because there's so many hits from the line. A lot of people love their fresher offerings. Naxos is super popular, and just all their other flankers. I think this goes under the radar because I didn't like this one at first when I sampled it on skin. And then it grew on me, and then all of a sudden I needed a bottle. But that fragrance we're talking about is from the house of Xerjoff, and that's Alexandria 2. Yes, Alexandria 2 by Xerjoff. Kind of a woody, aromatic, vanilla, luxury style fragrance. Now, this is more mass appealing in my opinion than I remember it being. Maybe I had a different version of it, but as soon as I tried it on skin at, I believe it was Neiman Marcus, I'm like, I gotta get a bottle of this. What was I thinking? And why this makes the list is because a lot of people talk about the other offerings from the house. A lot of the fresher offerings, 40 knots, Torino 21, Torino 23, the new Torino 24. And this is really under the radar. Compliment Beast, loud, long-lasting, luxurious scent. Dress it up, dress it down. I recommend dressing it up, special occasions, date nights. With all these, you can wear them in any situation. They're just my under the radar fragrance opinions and must try, must sample. And that's Alexandria 2 by Xerjoff. Now, in my opinion, this fragrance line, there's a handful I like. They had a discontinued one that was fantastic, fruity, sweet, and there's a couple one-offs that I love wearing, but people hate smelling when I'm around them. Now, this one's fairly mass appealing. Now, this was spawned from 2 other flankers, and I really liked the Parfum version of this until this one came out. And that's from Tom Ford, and that's the new O Ombre Leather. Yes, O Ombre Leather, really under the radar. It's a fresh, warm, spicy, ambery vanilla leather fragrance. Long lasting, it's got that note of ambrofix. I don't know scientifically what it does to make it last longer, but I get 8+ hours with this fragrance. Compliment Beast, and not too heavy on the leather. I'm not a huge leather fan, but something about this is just so, it just draws you in, so to speak. Great for date nights, great for casual wear. You could dress this one up, dress it down, wear it in any situation, and probably the most underrated in the line, in my opinion. And again, that's O Ombre Leather by Tom Ford. Now, this next one has a ton of notes. I'll try and see how many notes I can remember from it, but I'm going to put the notes up here in a little bit. But this is the best from the house, next to possibly the newest one that came out that I got my hands on, but the Extreme gets all the focus. Too peppery for me. Now, this house does make hits, and we're talking about Viktor and Ralph, and the most underrated in my opinion, and that's Night Vision Eau de Parfum. Yes, the Eau de Parfum Night Vision. Now, like I said, there's nutmeg, chili, some aromatics, some pistachio, just an amazing overall scent, very sweet and aromatic. There's some lavender, some mint. I got a little bit on my hand. The best summer nighttime party fragrance, period. Guys, if you're looking for a party clubbing fragrance, this is a must-have, must-own. And if you're in large crowds, this will help you stand out. Compliments every time I wear it. But again, fragrance doesn't guarantee you compliments. However, I love wearing this. It's sweet, it's fruity, it's fresh, it's aromatic. Amazing stuff, and way underrated from the house of Viktor and Ralph. Should get more love, yes. Does deserve more love, yes. And do I love you? Yes. And again, that's Viktor and Ralph's Night Vision Eau de Parfum. So guys, those are just some of my most underrated fragrances thrown together on a list. Let me tell you, I think I did good this time because these fragrances don't get the hype that they deserve. And yeah, my channel's pretty little here on YouTube, but I hope I can get the word out to you guys and smell great and smell fresh. Sample them. Some of these you can find at your local Sephora. Spray it on your arm, wear it for the day, come back, see how you feel, wear it around your friends and family, and get the true wearing experience it deserves. But again, if you guys love fragrance, cologne, perfume related content, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell so you're notified for every new video drop. We do daily uploads and shorts here on YouTube. Also, I'll put up my TikTok and Instagram. You can follow me there at EnterTheFragrance, one word. Tons of links and coupon codes in the bio. You don't have to use them to watch my videos, but they're there for you in case you need them. Much love, as always, guys. Stay clean, stay fresh, and as always, the world is yours. We'll talk soon.